Chat, diddly chat, hang in there, we are loading your activity. We are loading your activity. All right. I'm gonna go to dwarf debug info and look at CTX line, arrow line, subprogram lines, right? That's what we're looking for. For every subprogram, we process one line. This is no longer what we're gonna do. Well, except we will. Except we won't. Except we will. Except we won't. All right. We are looking at whatever this thing was. We're just going to get that. And we're going to go infos. We're going to get info from the infos. And we're going to do process one line there. So same thing, different thing. So here, we're going to comment this out just like before. Going to no check in that. Going to put this here. Now the trick is the preamble situation. Oh, where is... Do we even use this anymore? Probably not. So we're going to put a no check in here so that we remember to delete that later. Although maybe... Did the food happen? No. Very tiny amounts of leftover muffin happened. It was very sad. I got to walk though. I got to walk around and look at all the bars that did not serve food. Okay. So this is going to be statement debug info. All right. So info statement, we do the same thing. I mean, this is pretty weird, actually, at this point, because these are known to be individual statements, so we shouldn't even bother to do that. Like that, that's just not really a thing. Okay. We're asserting that we're in order still. Good. And then we do the advance. And then we maybe do the file. We do ulebs. We do the line number. Okay, and then now this prologue thing, we're gonna, okay, so first of all, we're taking out the epilogue because that's just not a thing. We're taking out the prologue. Okay, so what I actually want to do what is DWLNS copy? I don't actually know what that is. So I kind of just want to call this for the first one. Like, can I actually swap the order of these instructions or not? Right? Because what I actually want is we do this and we go here. All right. And then we get rid of dwarf prologue end. Which is a flag that we will no longer need. So we're going to no check in these. What do you mean line? Where'd that come from? Oh, it was called line. Duh. Line. So this is info, 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 line. So what does DWLNS copy? It appends a row to the matrix using the current values of the state machine registers. Then it sets the discriminator register to 0. It sets the basic block prologue end and epilogue begin registers to false. What? But we did that after. We did that after writing prologue end. I don't even know. Okay, just do this. Now, see, we don't want extra fatty fat in here. So we're just going to do this. Process one line is going to do that. I guess. That I meant that to be an and. Can I convert argument 4? Just say it's not a pointer. All right, everybody's quiet in chat, which is good or bad. I don't know. Okay. Problem. I'm editing this in Windows. Hey, look at that. I think our code view DT went down some more. I mean, it's hard to say without lots of runs, but I think it went down a smidge. And it'll go down even more when we remove this other stuff. Yeah, we weren't really banging 2s before. Okay. So I'm going to want to check this in, and we're going to have to go to the Linux the sad place. Oh, except the no check-ins. Mm. Nope. What? Oh my god. Such a bad editor. Okay. We're going to remind ourselves to do that. Everybody died of COVID. Dang it. Any thoughts on VR game programming? No. Why would I have thoughts about that? Yeah, wow, interesting. I guess it's because we're not iterating over that array anymore, but we are still filling it out. So we're gonna make some gains. We've already made a little gains. Gonna make bigger gains. Gonna make bigger gains. Dang it, bro. Are you kidding? How did I put this many? I just started the stream, guys. Wait, what? Oh. Why do I still have a CPP there? All right. I should have seen that one because it was right below the other one. Okay. Now we go here, and of course it's going to ask me for my, no, not there. Not there. We go here, it's going to ask me for my password because Linux is stuck in 1987. Am I more of a batteries included or lean standard library kind of person? I don't see the point in having something called a standard library. That part needs to go away because it doesn't work very well. If you want to use a giant library, fine. If you want to use a small one, fine. No, it shows an asterisk for every character in the password. It's stupid. It's so stupid. All right. Okay, it didn't say corrupt file. gdb.a break main run next next step. I think it actually works, people. What just beeped though? We got a Windows beepily beep. What even was that? The fan went and then we got a Windows beepily beep. I don't even know. It's very scary. Anyway, I think we can just start deleting stuff. Oh no, we can't yet. Actually, this part we could Wait, this isn't updated. That's frickin' communist. All right, now it's updated. So I believe, oh no, because we're still setting that flag. Okay. What this means is now we could do LLVM. Who cares about the number of characters in a VM? I don't know. The Russian Chinese hackers might somehow get in there. I don't know, man. No, it's a good point. Nobody's ever gonna use that password. I don't know. I was just reflexively being passwordy. Okay, you can enable automatic login in all login managers, and sudo does not show. What does sudo have to do with anything? First of all, I don't use that. I'm not one of these millennials who's afraid of the shell, so I do not sudo. Okay. I can do the LLVM part on Windows, so we're going to do that. Wait, it doesn't use subprogram arrow lines. Debug location. Oh, it's using BC current statement directly, right? That's the thing. Okay. Once again, before we get fancy, let us verify that this actually works. Because we haven't run debugger on LLVM output in a little bit. You bet it is possible. No, it's a subversion password. It's not a regular login. You have to configure the frickin' GPG ass-tastic system or whatever in order to have it remember your password. It's so stupid. All right. Was it WSL 1 or 2? It's 2. File system access was slow on 1 as well. That's just been hella slow. I don't know what the deal is. Okay. So that appeared to work. I had some quibbles with what it was doing, but it's basically there. So so this is doing all that lexical block stuff that I don't like. What do you mean overriding the current statement line number? Do you mean LLVM's push pop operations or like yours? Like, I don't like that comment. Okay. So basically, we want to not walk over all the byte codes. Or we can continue to do this for now. But I mean, actually, I don't think anything in here uses BC, right? No. So this can go down here. So instead of BC current statement, we can do like the thing that we did where we compare I against the cursor thing. So what we did in code view was what was it called? No, it was in x64. No. Okay. Statement debug info. So we did this thing last stream where we just like set the index to 1, right? So this is cut and paste from x64 convert.cpp. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. We're not setting offset in text section, so we can actually get rid of this. Oops. I think we initially set the debug location to the lambda, but if we need to do that, we could do that. Okay, and then there's all this lexical block stuff that we don't like. And we're just going to do this, slowness and all. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of that. Oh, because the previous thing had the plus plus in it? Yeah. Let's just do this. Let's give it a nice short name. And this is info arrow. And this is info statement. I don't understand what this debug scope get file thing is. Anyway, we can do that. That's all good. and then hopefully when we push things we set that. All right, who knows? I should look that over more carefully to see if I made a mistake, but we're just going to run it and find out I made a mistake. Now we'll look at it one more time. So oh, I forgot to say if statement here. Well, let's just do this. I mean, like if we're going for it, we're going for it. We are going for it. Yes, we do underscores in numeric literals. As God intended. Oh, that's x64. We don't want that. Let's see if it complains. Probably one in release build. Oh, but we are infinite looping. All right. Why would we infinite loop? So I should definitely increase. Oh, I forgot. I just said I deleted the plus plus. And then I didn't put it in. That is why we were infinite looping. Do not even run a debugger about that. Because we know how to program the second time. Maybe not the first time, but the second time we can program a little bit. All right. Great. Great. Okay, is that actually where we wanted to break? Let's... Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We have question mark. Okay, so we only have debug locations at open and closed scopes, which is not good. So I did screw that up. I really don't know what this is about, so that makes me uncomfortable. I mean, it looks like this is about switching files. I don't know. All right, well, let's just step through it. Oh, wait, guys. If you want to succeed in the game industry, don't do this. If you want to succeed in the game industry, put the code that's supposed to be outside the loop outside the loop. Okay? Okay? Do you understand? If you put the outside, it's like when you use your outside voice inside. It's not good when you use your outside voice inside. It's kind of fun playing with semi-broken debug info. Not 100% fun, but kind of fun. Mildly. Hey, we got a breakpoint in the right place. Step, 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 step. Yeah. Oh, we couldn't go in again. It's weird. Wait, we could that time, but then it skipped the first line. So yeah, we need to we could just do this. Although, again, I don't know how this interacts with the pushes and pops. If this doesn't work, we can move this inside the loop and just put a stupid if statement. Except debug scope. Blah. I mean, we could do a thing where current statement debug instruction starts as 0 question mark. That would be okay. And then we could at least put it inside here so it wouldn't be that bad. I feel like that's actually not going to make a difference, but we'll see. Okay. Run. Run, run, run. Did I delete the part? No, there I go. Run, 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 run. Okay. Step. Dang it. Like it does this one. And then it skips the first line. I don't think we actually even need to do this because we should be pushing a block. You know, if we're going to go for readability, let's go all the way. Right? It's actually maybe less readable, but whatever. I kind of don't have a good idea what to debug here. Like, I feel like this is similar. I mean, I guess we'll just set a breakpoint and look. You kind of seems redundant though. Like, I feel like, oh yeah. Yeah, like when we push a scope, which we do at the beginning, I'm sure, we do set current debug location. So obviously this one that I added doesn't do anything. I don't understand why the lexical block stuff is. It doesn't make any sense, dude. I don't understand why we're doing that at all. Okay. Wait, this is the wrong breakpoint. Oh, we didn't change the argument to be LLVM. So I probably is 0. Current debug instruction is going to be 1, which is, I guess, fine. We do this. I is no longer 0. We are equal here. We get the info. We pop our next. Oh. It's a using. Yep. So that using didn't do anything. We set the debug location to that redundantly, and then we loop. Now we have an instruction. Wait again. Hold on. Okay. Oh, we're setting it too far because we're doing this before we emit the code for the thing. Wait. Okay, so I'm doing two things that are confused here. I am setting this thing, which is for the next statement, right? But then I'm setting this to the current statement. Okay. So we're going to go if I is greater than 0, current statement debug index greater than 0. Wait. Like, we kind of just want to remember what the previous one was, but instead we're going to do this. We could easily then put this out of the loop so we don't do it multiple times. But current statement debug index starts as 1. Duh. Okay. Okay. Did I finish eradicating the CTX lines? CTX lines was gone yesterday. What we're trying to do now is subprogram lines, which we haven't finished, but we're very close. We're very close. What was the error? Conditional expression. Conditional expression is illegal. Okay, let's try this in release build because it'll take a while. LVM in debug build takes a while. You wonder if the mints are still on the floor? They are. How did my transition to work from home go? I mean, I work from random places all the time. It's just how I am. As for the whole company, I mean, I think the company is taking a productivity hit right now, even though a lot of people like working from home a lot of the time. It's just, yeah, long term, I don't think it's as good as everybody working in one spot. But it is what we're doing for the foreseeable future. Because not only do we have COVID, but I have to get the company the hell out of California. So that's That's non-ideal. How much compile time memory did you end up cutting? Well, more than 30 milliseconds of compile time, and memory, we didn't exactly measure, but it's more than a megabyte. It was like almost 2 megabytes at least, right? Which doesn't sound like a lot, but you know, it adds up. We're gonna get probably several megabytes here as well. Okay, so we have a breakpoint. Can I step down? Yes. Oh, except we didn't get the last line. Bro. Yeah, okay, so now we're not doing the last line. Why am I messing this up? Well, we actually provably can never hit the last statement because when this is statement debug infos.count -1, we do a -1 here, right? Oh, so here, okay. So we're going to do this, right? This is like our last line thing. And then, wait, what? I just indented wrong. We don't need the if statement. So all right, it's a little awkward. But it's better. Everyone leaving CA is physically relocating to the Midwest. Most LLCs are going to Delaware, Wyoming, Nevada, and Texas. That is true for a lot of people, for sure. What are my big reasons for leaving California? I can't do all of them again. I just ranted about this yesterday. It's a complete disaster. I also don't think I can do Texas. I tried Texas. I've lived in Texas before. There are things I like about it, but there are things I don't like about it as well. Hey, look, we've got all the lines. We've got all the lines, everybody. GG's. Let's get rid of the no check-ins. Okay, so this... so now I'm going to check in with so we still have the old code enabled, which I think we should be able to delete. But before I go do that, I'm first going to check in. And then we're going to run tests of everything on Linux and Windows. Again, just to make sure that I didn't, like, miss something, which is quite possible. And I ran release builds before, so we're going to do debug builds. Except on Linux, maybe, because... Okay, so debug LLVM first. That's going to take some time. Could not live in a place that doesn't have ski resorts. Well, a lot of people are moving to Jackson, Wyoming, but like, I don't know if it could support that many people. All right, let's run the game. A super secret location, aka Jackson, Wyoming. So my theory about Jackson is that everybody's confused. They're confusing places that are great to take a vacation in for places that you want to live, right? Those are a little bit different. Have I been to Boise? No, I have not. Very underrated. Well, I could put it on the list. Oh, I have it on the list. Somebody already suggested it. It is on my list. How great. What a great list. Nice weather and high property crime. Well, I could do without the high property crime. I'm leaving California after all. Can still live elsewhere in a place that isn't Wyoming. Well, what I've heard is that the new hotness of where to found your company is South Dakota. That's just what I heard. Just gotta no, I'm not going to Quebec. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? No. 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 Utah, I definitely want to go check out Salt Lake and surrounding areas. The Mormon thing, I don't know about that. You know, is Tennessee too far east? No. What does too far east mean? I'm in Tennessee right this second, so obviously it's not too far east. Your buddy in Utah is constantly complaining about regulations, like running a company kind of regulations? Debug build with LLVM sure is slow. Come to Nigeria. Ugh. I had a not very long rant. It's in a VOD. I didn't actually delete it. It's the shorter video from yesterday. If you go to the videos page. Um, I mean, it's, yeah. What I really should be doing is testing the debugging as well. I mean, this is good because we're making sure we didn't introduce a crash, but let's debug Sokoban one more time in each backend. So we just built x64 with the debug compiler, so we're going to run it. Come to New Zealand if you don't mind paying way too much for everything. You know, I've never been to New Zealand. I want to go there sometime. But I gotta tell you, the super wokeness that's happening in Australia and New Zealand is kind of scary. They're like almost Portland, from what I can tell. I mean, maybe that's exaggerated. Okay, so this works. So then we're going to do it again with LVM. I mean, I like Melbourne when I was there a long time ago, but apparently they're in one of the world's most serious coronavirus lockdowns still, which is, you know, not the right way to handle anything. That's what I heard. I don't know if that's accurate. Lots of physicists, scientists in Albuquerque due to Lanel. Not sure if those are people you're interested in interacting with. Well, you know, I do have a friend or two at the Santa Fe Institute, which isn't too far from there. Santa Fe is probably a little too small for me. Um, but you know, lockdown is slowly easing there. Well, it still isn't that great. I gotta tell you. Okay, so that's working. So, I mean, everything checks out. So now we're going to go to Linux and make sure it checks out here. You're going to see how many characters are in my password in my VM. All right. Make. Didn't SFAI close due to financial problems? What's SFAI? If you mean Santa Fe Institute, I was just there last year. Oh, Art Institute. No, that's... I don't know anything about that. That's not what I'm talking about. Yeet. Running the tests. Running more tests. Do I still recommend the four-year university for those looking to learn computer science? Probably not. It depends on whether you're able to learn on your own. If you are, you probably should do it on your own. Universities are way too expensive, and they're becoming oppressive environments, and they're becoming actually very bad at teaching things. It just doesn't make sense anymore. And it's much easier to get information on the internet, which it wasn't when I went to college. But it depends. It depends, you know. Depends on, are you going to do a good job learning on your own? Are you a self-motivated person? Like, I went to go to college, and I spent 2/3 of my time on my own projects anyway, just in the computer labs all the time. I didn't frickin' do homework. Like, why was I even there? All right, great. All good. So now's the part where we get to get rid of some things, like subprogram arrow lines and the corresponding things. This thing. Bye-bye. Oh, and BC current statement. First, let's get rid of subprogram lines. Let's just let the compiler tell us what else we need to delete. This one that adds the dwarf prologue end. Well, well, well. Well, well, well. 286, 277. I mean, the laptop is running really slow right now. 293. We're like all under 3. Oh, 383. 277. These numbers are much lower. We'll call it 280 now. This was some refactoring that I did today, so you know, that's not a huge speed increase, but non-negligible, right? Ugh, okay, we're hitting some 3s now. I don't know. Maybe 280 is a little low. Dude, I hate this laptop. 25, 323. Stop. Just use your CPU. Okay, so now it's like overheating. I don't know, guys. I can't get timings on this thing. All right. We're going to do lines of code eventually, but I want to, let's look at all the delete needs. We want to get a lines of code count as well. Delete me. That's the old process one line. Boom. Whoop. Boom. Delete me. Delete me. Delete me. Okay, and we still haven't even got rid of current statement. which I thought had a delete me on it, but I guess it doesn't. We are no longer using this on our bytecode struct, which makes it much smaller. This really should be in if debug only. I don't know why it's not. I think we maybe. Okay, this goes away. Oh, hold on. So start index yeah, right. All right. So we have to get rid of all the current statements. It's annoying that I named new things current statement. Boom. Boom. I don't know why we were manually. See, that's just something that should be done elsewhere. You don't do that way. This is not how it is done. All right, let's see if we missed any. Ta-da, we did it. We did it, everybody. All right, finally, it is gone from the bytecode instruction. $389. Come on, bro. 287. Yeah. So this has been good. This has been good. Guten Tag. Guten Tag. So how many lines of code? 53386. So that's, you know, we're like +4 from before I did this. And the code view data size is the same, right? 5425957. No, it went down. I guess because we weren't outputting as much redundant stuff. It didn't go. Oh, yeah, I know why. I did a different like short circuit just to detect things this morning, like a lower quality way, and it got the same size. So there was just some redundant things being outputted. You know, 100K worth, 150K. It's just 3 Commodore 64s. Don't worry about it. So that's pretty good. Removing BC arrow current statement using statement debug info instead. Okay, so this is good. So the next improvement, which I think, so the thing about this number and the corresponding numbers in the other backends is we did manage to remove something out of that loop that runs for every bytecode instruction, but like all the banana cakes lexical scope push pop is still in there. So once that stuff comes out, I would expect that loop to get a lot faster. I don't know what percentage of this is that loop, but it's probably non-negligible. So we'll probably drive the number down a little more. How do you feel about reverse engineering and copyright law pertaining to source code? I don't understand. Those are two totally different questions. I don't understand how reverse engineering applies to source code at all. If you have the source code, you don't need to reverse engineer anything. So what do you mean? Copyright law, I think current software copyright law is fine. It's patent law that's not good. You shouldn't really be able to patent most or any software techniques, but copyright is totally fine. Like, look, if you spend years programming something, you should have copyright to that. Like, I don't. Did you get the debugger stepping into macros? No, that wasn't on the list for today. Wasn't on the list. You mean like someone decompiling a DLL and copying someone's code? I mean, if that's in violation of the copyright or the license terms, then you're breaking the law, right? The ethics of that are a little bit separate, but I mean, come on. Like if someone doesn't want you, if someone put a ton of effort into some code and they don't want you fucking around with their code, why do you get to take their effort for free? Is my question for you. How do I feel about copyleft licenses? I would never use one, and I stay away from using all code that has that in it. How important is remote debugging in my pipeline? What? Remote debugging is just debugging over a network connection. What does that have to do with anything? I don't get it. That's like a function of the debugger, not the language or anything. You think, at least in the EU, it's completely legal to disassemble anything you purchase for your own purposes, as long as you don't share it. But I think that was the presumption in the question, was that you disassemble it and then use that source and then distribute, and then modify the source and recompile it and distribute that. At least I assume that's what the question was asking. What kind of strategies do you employ to help debug issues on published game builds? I mean, just the basic stuff where, so first of all, we log a lot. Almost every single bug that we have in our released games is not our fault. Almost every single bug is a graphics driver crash, and the solution is update your graphics driver. Seriously, that's like 98% of problems that we have. It's crazy. And part of the reason is because we actually tested our game and debugged our game. We did go live with a couple bugs. We did fix them, right? But if you log the GPU and driver version and stuff when you start up, and they can send you that log, that is almost all that you need to know for almost every crash. That tells you how shitty GPUs are, by the way, or GPU software is. It also tells you how bad all these web pages are that like can't even let you push a button correctly. Like what? Anyway, so for things that are our bugs, well, we also in the log we show the version number. We archive locally every version that we put out, and then you run that exact version and try to repro it, and maybe you can get their save file and repro it that way. You know, it sort of depends a little bit on the exact problem at that point. So this has been a pretty good night. The next step is, as I said, statement. The next step is, as I said, to attack all that push pop lexical scope stuff. And honestly, I need to look at how the information is being used in the different backends, because it might be being used in a different way, right? And then we'll figure out what I can do that's faster. But yeah, this is great. This is great. We removed a major contamination from the system, and like it's this kind of contamination, and I'm speaking specifically of the current statement element in the bytecode struct. It's the kind of contamination that's actually hard to remove. It's like the kind of cruft that just adds to software over time, right? And there's just enough friction to removing it. People don't want to put in the work. They don't want to break things that are already working. So they're like, we'll just leave it working. And so we reverse that entropy, which is good. Very good. So this thing may be a low-hanging performance fruit for dwarf, although we're not capturing dwarf performance numbers. We still have all those find or add file names in there, which, when I said before, since we're doing the file names in a prepass, it really should just be, you know, hash table lookup or something, or just looking at the load directive if we have that available. So depending on how many of those we do, that may be free performance that's just sitting there. Okay, so I got rid of this. So subprograms line is gone. So we're really up here. So this is a low-hanging performance fruit, and then this is a low-hanging performance fruit as well. So this number, it's going to go down substantially. I don't know how low, but it's going to be substantial. And in fact, even, well, we'll see. I think even there's still a fair amount of low-hanging fruit in the rest of this number. So this is like part of this. It's not explicitly added down here, but, you know, This would be like 1.0, 1.1 something, right? Or 0.11 something, sorry. And I think there's significant things to be done to making that faster as well. $413. 297. We're going to set up a website for the programming language. We will at some point. Does it support multi-core or multi-threaded compilation? Not currently. I mean, some parts of compilation are multi-core, but it's mostly single core right now. But it's still faster than just about any multi-core compiler that you know of. Or, I mean, actually most compilers don't support multi-core, right? They just do single core and then you run them on a bunch of files. So it's not hard to be faster than that. Not hard to be faster than that. It doesn't really mean anything for the programming language to support multi-core. Like, yes, you can write multi-threaded programs if you want, just like in C. Does C support multi-core? It's a weird question. How did I get to 2 seconds? I'm running on a slow, shitty laptop. That's how I got to 2 seconds. Guys, this isn't the same machine that I usually run on, okay? Not all computers are the same speed. You don't think C supports multi-core? Then no, we don't support multi-core. I guess it's impossible to write multi-core programs in C then. RIP. I guess most software doesn't exist. I guess the Linux kernel does not exist. No, there's something really, this is supposed to be a fast CPU in this laptop, but there's just something really wrong with it. It's just a really slow, inconsistent machine, and it's very aggravating. So if we were running back on my desktop machine at home with the good camera and stuff, we would probably be under 1 second by a little bit at this point. The compiler has gotten a little bit slower over the past, like, let's say 8 months, and that's just because I changed around a lot of things. There's probably a lot of stuff in the front end also that's very easy to speed up again. It's just I'm not doing the easy stuff right now. I'm doing the harder stuff, like this gross stuff, like, oh man, there's this pointer in the bytecode thing, right? Better to hit those, because the easy stuff is easy. You could do it anytime, right? But the not easy stuff, like the longer you go with this pointer in the bytecode instruction, the more stuff might end up depending on that, right? But so, you know, when we're compiling stuff in the front end and doing type inference, very often something is not ready to be inferred, and so we yield. And a regular yield actually is kind of like a spin lock, like it'll eat CPU, and that's mostly what I do, because I'm just worried if I do a sleep yield I might get it wrong and introduce a bug. So there's a bunch of regular yields that could be turned into sleep yields and probably remove a lot of CPU time, and it's relatively easy to do. But also the game's been getting bigger. You know, the game keeps getting bigger, so you would expect the numbers to go up a little bit. But then also, the game is full of static ifs right now, which probably makes compilation a little slower. We might want to look at optimizing evaluation of static ifs, because it's got all these like you know, which rendering API we're using, and I think there was like 100 frickin' static ifs, and that shouldn't be that slow, but there might be a pathological case that takes some time. Is this the laptop that came with Papos? No, this one came with Windows. All right, everybody. I'm going to go to bed. Thanks for coming by. I don't know if we're going to do a stream tomorrow. I might need a little more of a break tomorrow. But sometime soon, we're going to keep doing Attack the Backend streams, and we are going to be attacking, what was it? This lexical block stuff, all this push pop lexical block that, like, I don't know. Like, I need to look at what we're actually doing and figure out how to do it better. Thanks, everybody. I'm not going to raid it. I'm too tired to raid. I'm just hanging up. Good night. You can go to MMO Guy's channel if you want.